Good morning, YouTube. Hi, welcome to this beautiful, what was a minute ago, a rainy day, but I'm glad to see for you it's changed. Taking that sun, that's beauty, eh? Uh, well, I want to talk to you guys about something, not just admire the weather. But I want to tell you guys something about two 2 months ago. It happened to me. I realized how damn good meditation is, and I had a really cool experience. I was studying this doctor's shamanic healing techniques because I wanted to get my knee better from an injury which I sustained. And I was doing this work which involves you having a purpose in your thought, thinking about a certain ailment you have or the world has, and working to better that ailment through singing an intended intention, singing, movement, and intention. You can do a whole bunch of different things. Anyway, um, getting all new agey, this doctor, a little side note on him, he studied everything pretty much. He studied karate, he studied qigong, he studied tai chi, as well as Western medicine and Eastern medicine. So he has a whole bunch of different viewpoints that he can draw from. He's a brilliant guy, and he's quite the treat to watch. You should check him out, Dr. Zhigong Shah. He's amazing. He's curing people right now through the use of this method, and he's making them better from their cancers and their tumors and their diseases, everything. So anyway, I was doing this stuff to make my knee better, and I realized, lo and behold, that my foot doesn't have any warts on it anymore. Now, I had mighty warts, like powerful, like hardcore warts. I'm telling you, uber warts, I would even say. I think that's even some scarring from it still, but it's completely smooth. And the doctor, when I went there, he said that it would take like 6 or 8 meetings just to burn it off enough to see a difference. They were deep, and they were gross, and now they're not. So, it works. It was me giving off a gracious, loving attitude towards my body, and my body responded, because that's what it involves mostly, is giving off love and gratitude towards your body for whatever you get, and it puts it in a very receptive, very warm state where it has a lot of potential. And that brings me to the next point, that there's only two states of being, love and fear, and everything else is just an offshoot of that, every other emotion. If you measure it with waves, you see that love is a higher frequency and deeper. The waves that are generated from fear are constrained and quick, slower. They're shallower and slower. Now, there's another doctor, Leonard Horowitz, who talks about frequencies, how they're being used to heal people of other ailments. There's doctors, geneticists right now going out and healing their patients, their diseases, their liver malfunctions, and their brain tumors and all that stuff through the use of sound. At 528 is the frequency, and there's a lot of different frequencies used for many different things, and they're part of solfeggio, an ancient sound pattern, which, when put out, makes a nice mandala, which I'll get to in a second. And this group of 9 different frequencies was the original solfeggio harmonic scale. It was the original scale that was Gregorian. The Gregorian chanters, I think, knew about it. That's why they would chant these special sounds, just like I was chanting my special sounds to heal my knee. They were chanting those special sounds to bless their troops as they went out into religious battle during the Crusades. That's a whole nother story. The mandala that the sounds make when you put them out and organize them into sequence is similar to the mandalas that cymatics shows us when you play sound through matter. Shamanics, they take a piece of metal or another platform and they pin sound through it. They run sound through that, usually one single tone, and they put matter on top of it, sand. Many different types of water materials have been used, and if you look closely, the matter moves through this beautiful shape. It creates the shape. All the particles move around through it after that. And if you increase the frequency, the shape changes. It becomes more beautiful, more complex. Now, exciting stuff, really is. They did some studies about meditation, and these waves that the human being generates, you can measure them, right, with the lie detector and basically anything. Consequently, another side note, they hooked up one of these to a plant. When the person was thinking about killing the plant freaked out. We got sharp spikes on the graph, which only means that the plant was aware that we were going to kill it. Back on track, they hooked up these, I think they were electromagnetic graphs. They hooked them up to one person in LA and one person somewhere in South America. These two people knew each other, and the one person started to, maybe they didn't know each other. Doesn't matter. One person started to broadcast feelings of love towards the other person. When they started doing this, the graphs matched up. They were synchronized. So that just says right there that we have an effect on each other, non-verbally and non-physically. That in itself blew me away. Add to that the fact that when you talk to water, you have an effect on its structure. Because if you freeze it after saying I love you to it, and if you freeze another glass after saying I hate you, you can see a very big difference with the shapes of the water. One is ugly as hell, and the other one is beautiful. Now, there was another thing that really showed me the power of the human thought, is when this thing called astral projection was being experimented on. They had this hypnotist put this guy into a state where he could see things elsewhere, and this guy went to go see his wife. Now he's at the door and he tells the hypnotist says, don't worry about the door, you can go right through it. He goes through the door, she's there writing a letter. He goes there and he reads the letter. He reads it to the hypnotist. After he comes back out, a few days goes by, she gives him this letter, and he matches it up with the one that the hypnotist had, that he had dictated, and it was the same letter. That's huge. Another test with astral projection was they were studying if there's any measurable difference that's made when you project yourself somewhere. And they did that, and they had a graph, a test, a meter or something, a detector, in this room where this guy was supposed to be seeing this. He was trying to project himself to see this character on the wall somewhere. He had to find it and he had to see it. Now, when he was seeing this character, after he found it and he saw it, the graph picked up, detected particles of light that were generated spontaneously within the room. Tiny ones that just sparked. Now, this guy wasn't a practiced meditation or he wasn't a monk or anything. He was focusing his thoughts enough under a hypnotic state to this different room, and they actually had an effect on the room. They created light particles. They stirred up something, and it who knows how it works. The point is, it works. Your thoughts get transferred. I think it goes more to show why we live in such what seems to be a shitty world, but in reality, it's beautiful. It has all these interplays going on in the background that we don't even know about. I hope it. If this serves to show anything, it's that we've really been oblivious to what must be our true purpose. Because if human beings have these abilities, we should be using them for good. I think it's gonna show a lot of things about our future. I think it's gonna do a lot of good for us if we take these things and seize them. So I hope you can seize them into your life and take heart in that you control the world, basically. Much love.